Jesus, it's hot in here.
No kidding, wise guy. Tell me about like-kind exchanges.
Like-kind exchanges are non-recognition provisions found in Section 1031 of the Internal Revenue Code.
What is a non-recognition provision?
Non-recognition provisions have two common themes. First, the sale or exchange usually involves a mere change in the form of an investment and not its substance. Second, the realized gain or loss usually does not disappear, rather, the unrecognized gain or loss typically carries over into the new asset.
Amen.
Section 1031 creates non-recognition for two types of like-kind exchanges. Section 1031A governs exchanges solely of like-kind property, and 1031B governs exchanges where something such as cash or the assumption of debt is exchanged in addition to like-kind property.
Tell me more about 1031A.
Under 1031A, first, the taxpayer must exchange property held either for productive use in the taxpayer's business or investment. Second, the old property must be exchanged solely for property of like kind, and third, the new property must be held either for productive use in the taxpayer's business or as investment. Property will be considered to be of like kind if they are of same class, determined with reference to the nature or character of the property and not its grade or quality. For depreciable personal property, there is an additional requirement that property be of the same general asset class used in assigning class lives for purposes of depreciation.
It is confusing, give me some examples.
For example, office furniture will qualify for non-recognition if it is exchanged for office fixtures because they share a general asset class. However, office furniture will not qualify for non-recognition if it is exchanged for computers, because computers are in a different general asset class.
Is non-recognition available for all property?
No. Section 1031A lists 6 types of property that are ineligible for non-recognition. 1. Stock in trade or other property held primarily for resale. 2. Stocks, bonds, or note. 3. Other securities or evidences of indebtedness or interest. 4. Interests in a partnership. 5. Certificates of trust or beneficial interests. And 6. Choses in action.
Now, explain how basis is affected.
When property is exchanged, the unrecognized gain or loss is preserved in the new property received by determining the taxpayer's basis in the new property, with reference to the taxpayer's basis in the old property. In other words, basis in old property, minus, cash received, plus, gain recognized, equals, basis in new property.
You and your formulas. I need an example.
Okay. If taxpayer exchanges a building worth $200,000, in which taxpayer's basis is $140,000, for a different building worth $200,000, taxpayer's basis in the new building would be $140,000. Taxpayer's realized gain of $60,000 remains unrecognized, and is preserved in the new building. Similarly, if taxpayer exchanges the same $200,000 building for a different building worth $100,000, his basis in the new building would be $140,000. Taxpayer's realized loss of $40,000 is preserved in the new building. Taxpayer would not be able to recognize the $40,000 loss from this transaction, and will have to wait until he disposes of the property in a way that does not trigger a non-recognition provision.